that there are some people that's like, I am done helping you. If you're going to keep doing these things, is at some point we may need their help. And the adult children might hold that over our heads. Good morning. High five. It's a good day, isn't it? It's going to be a wonderful day. And it's a beautiful world. You know, getting that mindset and saying those words to yourself and to the world, it really changes your perspective, okay? So there's my little advice for the day, my little inspiration. I do have coffee. Would you like some? I'm willing to share. Cheers. Just a little bit of an update. I want you to watch it all the way through. Please share this video and leave a comment, even if it's just a hi or an emoji. And please subscribe. I really appreciate that. It does help me. Okay, so here's another update. On weekends, I'm only going to do, well, for a while. We'll see how it goes. Let's not write it in stone, okay? Remember the Flintstones? Where they would carve it in stone. But I think for a couple weeks, I'm going to try it out so that I can get into doing some other things on the weekend. Go places, maybe get some filming and start using my camera more. So on weekends, I'm only going to do a morning video. They're a little bit easier, a little bit more relaxed, right? And then on Monday through Friday, I'll be doing the two so that you know. I know sometimes some of you don't really care. It's like, oh, okay, she didn't put up a video. But some of you say, hey, where were you? Where were you? I love that. I really do. I love being connected with you. Some of you don't know what it's like being on my side, but it really is a big deal to me too. Okay, I have a letter I want to read here. It's a good one. It's a good one. And I read it once before. It's from Pastor Candida, but I didn't really go into, I wanted to think about it for a little while because I really felt this comment. She says, I've been van lifing it since August 1st, and the rhythm keeps changing due to family upheavals and trying to control me. See, that bothers me. I pray that this finally settles. I have to become a bit more protective of my stability in this life and not let others contradict my choices and stability. I mean, you have the right to be stable in life, don't we? I mean, we all do. We all should have the autonomy, you know, to make our choices. But I'm going to go into some of the layers. Let's peel back some of the onion layers on this. And, yeah, it breaks my heart that she's, I mean, it's hard enough just starting out in van life, but then having other forces, family members, people you love coming at you, you know, wanting to change your mind on things and control things. She says, I needed this message so much because I've been pondering this for months and couldn't figure it out. The video was on different intelligence, like flexible intelligence when you're just new in an area or you're new in anything in life. You're going to be strengthening your flexibility intelligence because it'll be like you're trying to solve puzzles, you know. And in van life, it's like, well, where do I go? Where do I park? You know, how do I deal with this, or how does this open, or how, yeah. So you're solving puzzles, but then comes the stability of it when you get into a rhythm. And that's why she keeps talking about stability. And that's where the long-term stable intelligence can come from, to where you can reach your creativity, because you're not always figuring out a puzzle. I mean, if you're worried about safety, food, how things work, you're still down here, but you want to go higher in your thinking to create self-actualization, where your creativity and your enjoyment of life. Yes. So this is why she's talking about this. And she says, and she couldn't figure out why she kept going into freeze mode. Yeah. Okay, so I let's unpack this. I really wanted to take more time with this one. That's why I wanted to bring it back again. I took some notes. Well, autonomy means being able to make your own choices. And even as you age, I mean, she obviously has grown children. Yeah. So she needs that autonomy. We still need, as we're become seniors, we still need to know that we can make our own decisions and that they're good decisions. And if we're going to fall on our face every once in a while, we want to do it on our own steam. We don't want to, we want to have the backup. I mean, we're not an island unto ourselves as human beings. We want to have people who love us behind us so that in case we fall. I mean, we did it as parents, right? As mothers or fathers, we offered that. We wanted our children to grow, but we also wanted them, if they fell, that we could catch them. And then they would learn, and then they could, those steps, learning to walk. Well, even as teenagers or young adults, they're still learning to walk. Yeah. They're not, they're crawling around. When they do become young adults, they are sort of like they're crawling around a little bit. The world, and I will mention, the world sometimes can seem a little bit harsher now for our young adults as they're growing into that. Yeah, it's a little bit harsher, a little bit meaner out there than I think what we dealt with. Although they were always still bullies, but still, we want to be able to have people behind us who can kind of catch us if we fall. I mean, don't do the most ridiculous things, I mean, like become a gambler and lose all your money and then expect your adult children to catch you. I mean, come on, I think as seniors we would know that that's not a good thing. Or, start drinking heavy, or doing drugs, or just being really irresponsible for your money and things like that. Yeah, you can't expect your family to just keep catching you when you keep doing dumb things, right? But it's good to know that there are people that love you. It's just when you're just in normal decisions. Now, do they have the right to be telling you what to do? Not really, unless, let's unpack this. Unless maybe there are some health issues that you have. They may have the concern. It really depends on whether it's a control issue or it's a concern issue. They just love you. A lot of people don't understand van life, right? They just don't understand it. They think that this alternative lifestyle is very dangerous. Yeah, a lot of people, if they don't understand van life, they think it's very dangerous. And there are a lot of people that don't, that even watch van life channels. I've had people tell me, oh, you should be so careful. Oh, it's really dangerous out there. And even though I'm showing some of the danger, it doesn't mean that it's so pervasive that I have to literally leave the area and not go like to the park or something like that. That at home, like I've been talking about the homeless, and I've had a lot of you say, oh, well, don't be there. It's too dangerous. I'm worried about you. No, it's not that. If it really was that pervasive, I would know instinctively that, oh, I can't be there. I mean, there are places in Tucson I would not go. That's the truth. And so I can understand your grown children's concern, but they can't control you. If they have to have, I think here's what a lot of this comes down to. Do they trust you? Do they have enough trust? And do they have enough respect for you that they feel that you will make the right decisions? It might come down to that. Yeah, do they, I'm not saying in your case, Candida, but I'm saying in some cases, maybe that person has made some really stupid decisions throughout their life. And those people in their life have to keep catching them and clean things up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm using a broad, not you, Candida, but I'm using a broad brush to stroke and paint this picture. That there are some people that's like, I am done helping you. If you're going to keep doing these things, I don't want to be there for you. Yes, because I'm tired of it, right? Okay, but if you have made good decisions and they're trying to control you, where does all of this come from? So I want to peel back some layers here. Let me give you my what my parenting style was, because that kind of makes a difference, because your parenting style sort of helped develop you the style of your adult children. Okay, not in all cases, but it's kind of, I think that's logical. That's logical to say. Okay, so in my case, I was a liberal parent for the most part. I mean, yeah, for the most part, unless when they were really small, sure. I swatted their behinds a few times, not a lot. I was not a hitter, but I did swat their behinds, and I actually don't. I don't like that anymore. I wish I never would have done that. Not hard, but like giving them a little swat. Well, I am more of a liberal type parent, or I was. I say, here's my motto: live and let live. Yes, they made mistakes. And in many cases, I let them stew in it, because I figured that's how they learn. I mean, that's how they're going to learn. They got to pick themselves up. I caught them a lot. When they fell back, I was there to catch them. But for a lot of cases, they kind of like had to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, this is your decision, and now let's see what the consequences are. Was I perfect in parenting? Absolutely not. No way. I'm not even gonna try to convince anybody that I was a perfect parent. No way. There were times where I should have stepped in. And there are times where I shouldn't have stepped in when I did. But for the most part, it was live and let live. And I still feel that. I'm not one of those interfering parents, okay, or even in-laws. It's live and let live. I mean, let's have fun together. Let's get together. But I'm not going to tell you how to live. I don't want, because here's the thing, I don't want you to tell me how to live, And my children they thought it was really cool. Okay, except one. She was really worried about me. In fact, she cried. She cried. But for the most part, my other three, they were like, go for it. Who cares? Now the one who was not so open about it, I mean, she totally understands. Although she still does try to get me to get a place. I think she just wants me to settle in. Probably because she lost her dad in a car accident way back, and she was very young, that she wants to keep me around a little bit more. So, yeah, she does. I think she's more concerned about me than maybe the other three. But the point is that they really don't care. They trust my judgment, and I think that is the key. My adult children trust my judgments. Yeah, I guess I haven't done such stupid things in my life to make them distrust. So we've got all of that. And the reason I'm talking about parenting style is because if you have a more of an authoritarian style, where you were the authority and you ruled with fear, yeah, I think those adult children are actually going to be taking on that role too, because that's what they learned. And as seniors, get older and older, the hammer could come down on you from them because that was your style. And I'm not saying that's your style, Candida. I'm seriously not. But I'm unpacking this for all types. Yeah. Because here's one of the issues that we have as seniors is at some point we may need their help. And the adult children might hold that over our heads. Well, you better do what we say, or we're not going to take care of you. We're not going to be that mattress that you can fall back on, that soft spot. Yeah, if you fall. And I don't mean just literally fall, although that could happen, but I mean, that you're going to need our help. So they may hold that over your head like, well, you better do what we say. And, or we won't be there. And that's where I think sometimes the authoritarian style can creep in with our offspring too, if we use it on them when they're small. Yeah. I say live and let live. The ideal is that there's this mutual respect going on. There's this love. We love you, Mom. We love you, Dad. We love you, parents. And go have fun. We'll be here. To be careful. Let us know where you are. Let us know what's going on. Keep in contact. You can share locations, things like that. But that, ideally they can let you know that they'll be there. If they still need help, they're not going to hold over your head to be mean about it or, be in a controlling kind of attitude, because that really sucks. I mean, we spend our time raising children and then later on we can't go out and explore different lifestyles and explore the world just a little bit, untethered by responsibility. And if the adult children don't want to do that for you, and they have children, those children are going to learn that, and it's going to happen to them too. These things keep getting passed down, don't they? These styles and these attitudes keep getting passed down. I talk about that too in the blame game in my book, The Blame Game, where adult children, go no contact. Well, I always say, if you are a millennial or a Gen X who are doing that, and you have children, those children are watching. And it will happen to you too, where you can't see the grandkids. There's no contact. And, so there's bad mouthing going on behind the scenes with your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, to where nobody, they've turned everybody against you. So these things do get passed down layer by layer by layer as, as time goes on with different newer generations coming up. So I really, Candida, I hope for you the best. You have to balance this out. Do you feel, and you're going to have to ask these questions, do you feel a need to obey them because you fear they won't help you if you need help once you get really up in age? Because when you start getting 90, 95, you're going to probably need some help here and there. Yeah. I mean, take care of yourself the best you can. Also ask, why are they trying to control you? Do they have reason not to trust you? Things like that. So here's what probably needs to happen is a good conversation. Yeah, and not just talking at somebody and then yelling back at them, but take the time to each one say their piece and then be quiet and let the other one do some talking. Because that's really how a good conversation goes. One person talks, and then the other person asks a couple questions so that they can answer them. Then it switches to this person. They can say what they want. This person asks a couple questions. they answer them, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, that's a good conversation. Ask questions. When somebody speaks to you, ask a couple questions about it. It shows that you're interested. It shows that you are curious. And then if you're the other person who answered their questions, take a break, and then let the other person. Then you could even ask them to get them to talk. So it's a give and take. And with our adult children, we need to learn to do that too. But you have the right to enjoy van life and go enjoy it. Maybe even if it's just for a year. But there are cases where you have to do this because you can't afford to rent, or you had to give up your home because it was too costly. Yeah. So it's not always a case of, I want to go out there and I want to go explore. It might be the case of, I got to live in my minivan because I can't afford to have a place. Excuse me. Let me have some more coffee so I can have some more coffee burps. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that it tickled your brain a little bit to look at who your children are and reflect on what kind of a parent you were. Yeah, what kind of style did you have as a parent? And if you are of Gen X or millennials, how are you going to deal with your senior parent who is aging? We all age. And believe me, you're all going to get here at some point. You just are. You really are, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've got the blame game. Really do. And I've got How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee way. And it's like an encyclopedia. It is the most comprehensive book about van life. And it's not just minivans. It's SUVs, sedans, Sprinters, ProMaster high tops. And a lot of it has to do with RV life, too. Having bigger RVs. I just don't talk about gray water and black water and things like that. But I do talk about the essentials of van life, and it's got every subject you can possibly want, okay? How to live in a minivan, the Minivan Lee way, and the blame game, interactions between adult children and aging parents, okay? I love you. I will see you tomorrow morning. I will. I love you.